Good evening, Great Division, and welcome to the Spartan Sim Racing League Truck Series. We are live from the virtual Iowa Speedway. My name is Joe LaCastro, joined today in the booth by Gage Swan, and out in the technical truck, that's Taylor Burris. Gage, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great, Joe. I'm ready to go. I think the drivers are ready to go. We're getting through qualifying here, and it looks like it's going to be a good night for some racing.
That's what I'm looking forward to, man. I think I've just conquered them, but I was battling the hiccups about 30 seconds ago, so we'll see if that holds me back a little bit tonight, but it's going to be great to have you in the booth with me. We've got a 120-lap stint at Iowa Speedway tonight, so why don't we take a little look at the track, and maybe you can give us a little bit about Iowa Speedway, or if you've got any insights you want to share, let's hear them.
Yeah, so this is a pretty short track, not even a full mile. I've driven here a few times on the sim. It's a pretty fun racetrack, multiple grooves, I believe, from when I did it. Should be pretty fun. We should see some drivers getting their elbows out, and it should be a good night.
I'm looking forward to it. I've only driven here a handful of times myself, and it can be definitely an interesting. It is a shorter track than it looks from space. I'll say that. It looks a little bit bigger, but once you get down there, you're really whipping it around. It's got a lot of personality for a smaller track here.
Absolutely. The front stretch, you're pretty much never straight. It's always a turn, and then the back stretch is pretty much a flat straight. Can kind of throw you off from time to time coming off the corner, but once you get in a groove, you get in a groove, and we'll see how these guys do tonight.
Okay, well, I think it might be time for keys to the race here. Let's go ahead and see what we can talk about in terms of what the drivers tonight need to keep inside their head. All right, there's key number one. So key number one, respect the bumps in the track. If you look, and I think you know this too, Gage, in Iowa, especially in turn number one, if you go to the outside, there are some crazy bumps on this track that'll just send you flying. And I think there's another section of the track too, but definitely on the outside of there, you got to watch out for those bumps there. If you throw it out there to the outside of the track early in the turn, they're gonna bite you. Why don't you take it away with keys number 2 and 3 for me though?
Yeah, absolutely. Turn 4 trouble. Turn 4, like I mentioned earlier, it never really straightens out. It's also really easy to get loose and keep turning that wheel too far coming off the corner, and a lot of guys can, get runs coming off 4 side by side. It's going to be a crazy place turn 4 is. The last one is going to be tire management. With it being a short track, it's going to feel like you can really just throw it around there and drive as fast as possible, but doing that, you're gonna really shred some rubber off the tires, especially here with how bumpy this track is. It's very coarse. You're gonna really degrade those tires, and we might see a lot of guys in the top 10 by the end of the first run be running a lot lower than expected just because of that. So those are going to be the keys to the race tonight.
Yeah, the strategy is going to heavily lean into that, that's for sure. You're watching how those tires get scrubbed out on the track tonight. We're just getting ready a little bit for the grid to get called. We've got right now the drivers meeting is going on, so everybody's getting ready to go and everybody's getting psyched up. So in the meantime, let's see, do we have this? I'm going to throw it to the truck for a section. Do we have a schedule? Do we have the schedule for this week? No schedule. Gotcha. We do have a doubleheader broadcast though going on, I think, right now. Or I think right after. So we got a lot of grid vision for you this week. If you're looking for racing action, this, and then what is the other broadcast going on right now? Monday night. All right, the Monday night top split. So we've got a lot of good stuff. Tomorrow night, Cup Series at Homestead. So stay tuned. Just gonna get my last minute stretches in myself. It's been a weekend of not calling races, and so it's time to get back in the groove here And I think, Gage, this is your official Grid Vision debut tonight?
Yep, it's going to be my official Grid Vision debut. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to talk for however long this takes. And so I'm going to get back out there for a little warm-up, and we'll see how it goes.
Well, however long it takes, it's going to be deceptive because it is a shorter track. We're reviewed for 120 laps. These guys are going around this track at about 22 seconds per lap. So you do the math. That's about a little over 3 laps a minute, 120 laps. We're looking at somewhere a little over an hour, I think, of racing if we were just having no yellows. Whoa! Jay Salmon just gets slammed into a spin. Nice recovery. Made it look like it was on purpose. But it looks like he lost a little bit of control there coming out. There goes the 53 of Brandon Barrier. Brandon Barrier is a guy we often see towards the top of the list here. Chad Genningsman. A couple other names we've seen here before on the SSRL Truck League grid. Art Nicotera in the 77. Or in the 17, excuse me. I was reading that wrong. A little shorter on the 7 there. Charles Abert in the 07. He goes around for a second. Boom, boom. Here's Logan Joyo, excuse me. I think we're seeing a little bit of what you said, Gage, where some people are getting up into turn 4 there. You can really fly out of that. And if you do, your chances of going up into the wall with it go up the faster you go.
Yeah, absolutely. Coming off 4, it really does feel like you have a lot more grip than you really do. And a lot of times you can come off very, very icy, and either you're turning too far left, or maybe you just don't have as much grip as you thought you did, and it just gets a little tight and you slide up into that wall. Turn 4 is going to be a big place for a lot of action tonight, and based on how that warm-up was going, we might be seeing action all race long.
All right, well, let's get into the grid as we kick things off. Here we go. Starting off at the top, it's Tom Ringer in your pole position tonight with Blair Holloman on the outside. Then Corey Moore in 3rd place, Hunter Hughes in 4th. 5th, it's Andrew Kotska. 6th, it's Benjamin D. Stevens. 7th, it's Jordan Sailors. 8th, it's Evan Ethel. 9th, it's Art Nicotera. 10th, it's Gary Donnellan.
Back up in 11th place is going to be Rob Yost Jr. 12th is going to be Colton Gardner. Then it's going to be Scott Schroeder with Ryan Jalek next to him. Chad Winningsman back in 15th with Tyler Beeman beside him. Brian Britz, 17th. Keith Snyder in 18th. Jay Stevens back there in 19th. And Jay Salmon starting next to him in 20th.
Moving on to 21st, that's Patrick Stein on the inside, David Fugue Jr. on the outside, Charles Abert in 23rd, Joseph Tucker in 24th, Gabriel Andy in 25th, and Kyle Westwood in 26th. Jason Kratke in 27th, James Staples in 28th, Drew Prohl in 29th, and Noah Dazinski in 30th.
Closing it out, we've got Brian Alphin, 31st, with Brandon Barrier in 32nd, Christopher Fuge in 33rd, and Logan Doyle to round off our grid tonight.
And rounding them off, they are right now as our boys come around the corner. And looks like things are getting ready to go. We've got Blair Holloman on the outside, Tom Ringer down on the inside to start things off here. Ringer on the pole position. He's lagging just a little bit behind Holloman right now, but I think we'll see them even that out as we get around here. Trying to see how long they can keep it green. It'll be fun to see. It's a beautiful day in Iowa for a race, and I'm looking forward to seeing these guys battle it out. Always a good time on SSRL. Here comes a little weather forecast for you right now. Newton, USA. Clear skies, 69 degrees in the air, 73 on the track. Not bad and not bad.
Not bad weather for our
Beautiful day in the sim. Beautiful day in virtual Iowa. Coming down to the line now. The green flag is waving. The drivers are going, and we are go, go, go! Ringer just a little bit out to the front. Not a lot, though. Blair Holloman has given chase, and right behind Ringer, that's Corey Moore, who is also behind him on the inside. Moore still trying to keep that bottom line behind him, but it looks like Tom Ringer is jumping up and already throwing blocks here as we come around 1 and 2 going into the back.
Absolutely. They're already 3 wide towards the back of the pack. It's getting pretty crazy lap 1 when the field's all packed up and bunched up like this, but they're starting to even out as Blair Holloman is going to clear Tom Ringer for the lead.
It looks like Holloman has got that clearance. He's just a little bit ahead now. In that middle groove there. There's a nice middle groove that you can find here at Iowa, and if you hold that, it's going to work for you. But the longer you drive at the front of this pack, the more your tires are going to wear down. That was one of the points that you made earlier there, Gage, and so I'm looking forward to seeing who can take advantage of this strategy the most. Right now, Holloman's going to be the one challenging it. Behind him, though, there's a little bit of a group forming. It looks like Andrew Kotska just a little bit ahead in the 47 machine of the Jordan Sailors in the 1. Trying to keep a block on the Sailors, keep him from going there, but Sailors on the outside potentially has the speed. Kotska on the inside, riding it up now, putting the squeeze on the 9 on the outside. Can he hold it? Yes, he does. And it's still going to be Holloman in the lead here by a good length or two as we go around, coming down into the 5th lap here.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got a good bit of racing back all the way throughout the pack. A lot of guys too wide as the one kind of slides up right there in front of, I believe that was Tom Ringer. But a lot of the guys up front have sort of just singled out. But back there for about 6, 7, wide. Tom Ringer is still just falling through the pack right now. Stuck on that outside, and it seems like everybody's been pretty clean so far. Making moves on the bottom.
Doing what you can. A couple of moves happening just now. Rob Yost makes the pass on Colton Gardner. Yost on the inside now. Not quite completing the pass as the 83 machine is tucked down on the inside. In this 2-wide situation, you mentioned there's a couple 2-wides going on right now. This is one of them. Can he make the pass? Not with Gary Donnellan directly in front of him. Donnellan making it very hard for Yost to do anything here as Yost almost looks to put it 3 wide. Donnellan is looking to put it 3 wide with the 78.
Big move there from Gary Donnellan. He's going to put it center 3 as that 9 truck of Ringer is just still finally they get out of being 3 wide there. Tom Ringer is just slowly falling back to the pack on the high side. Really just trying to see if he can't just find a spot to level out as here comes, I believe that is Yost, Rob Yost, down on the inside of Ringer once again.
They're trying right now. The battle in the race right now is the battle for 6th place. Everybody ahead of that has strung out like a string of pearls. They're looking pretty good. Blair Holloman is at the lead right now with a 1-second gap on Hunter Hughes. Hughes ahead of Corey Moore, but these guys at the front, they've already got their stuff sorted. They don't have to worry about that at this point. Oof. We had Evan Ethel just fell back through the pack. Number of places.
Yeah, absolutely. Blair, Holloman, Hunter Hughes, Corey Moore, these guys running 1 through 3 right now. Even Kotska and Sailors behind them, all of them have really been singled out now, and it's all about tire management. Right now, they're just trying to do what they can. Go fast, of course, but you want to just make sure that you can keep some rubber on that thing and see how far you can get while going pretty fast.
That's right. It makes me want to keep my eyes on where the action's at in the pack right now, which is still around the 6, 7, 8, 9 zone. As we can see here, there's another pass being made here potentially. That's Kyle Westwood. He's looking to make a pass on the outside. It's not going to be easy as Joseph Tucker is, nope, Tucker's going to let him have it and try to slide up into position, hold on to his 1 lost spot, and it looks like he's able to do it.
Trying to just put it on the outside, going into 1 and 2, can make it happen, but these guys back here, they're looking for opportunities, and right now there hasn't been a whole lot of opportunities. A lot of them have just single filed out, but doing what they can.
That's right. Now, and I also realized with a start that we did not do our picks for the evening before the race started. Now, that would have been something that a professional would remember what to do. But I do want to know if maybe we, during one of the yellows or sometime here, we can throw our picks up on the screen really quick and we'll just cover those in a little bit here. But we've got some racing going on here at the front still that I want to cover. The front, not exactly the front. We're talking more again around that 8 or 9 position where there are still a few cars that are setting things too wide. Rob Yost down to the inside now. Chad Gettingsman behind him, but the 2 eyes position is the 91 machine and the 21 machine there. Colton Garner on the outside, sliding back up now, was briefly too wide with Tyler Beeman. Beeman holding on to that groove. Beeman sideways a little now. What a snap on that car.
And I was just about to say, it looks like Tom Ringer finally found himself a nice little gap to where he can just finally settle in and get into the groove. I was about to say that. Comes Rob Yost up the inside. Looks like he's finally going to be able to clear it. Here comes Chad Winston as well on the bottom. Looking for maybe another move on. He's going to get by Tom as well. Coming up here on Rob Yost Jr. as well.
Rob Yost Jr. moving on to the 8th position. He's up 3 slots right now. Tyler Beeman, I've still got eyes on him because I think that if there was a sort of a yellow flag for, not a yellow flag, but like a caution in my mind, it's got to be Beeman. Right now it looks like he's just pushing the machine into the turns a little bit extra. You watch for guys who get a little loose on the exit, you think that's okay. That's usually not a big deal. Beeman's getting loose on the exit every single time here, and that's driving him very far. But man, what a risk. It's such a risky move to drive that extra mile and see that tail, especially on a truck, see that tail snap out and think, I got this.
Yeah, absolutely, especially here where we have kind of already gotten talking about tire management consistently. Seeing a truck like that really sideways off the corner, you just know that there's a lot of rubber on the tires. And I'm interested to see how well Beeman can keep it up towards the front. He's running around 11th and 12th right now, so he's got a lot of racing going on. Colton Gardner is there as well. They're catching up to, I believe that's Tom Ringer. Yep, is right in front of them as well. So we'll see how they can manage these tires with how they're racing right now. They're getting at it.
Let's check in with those absolute Chads at the front right now who have got things sorted out. It looks like Corey Moore is there, Jordan Sailors, Andrew Kotska. Kotska down to the inside, trying to potentially take a spot from Sailors. You know who else is up there is Gary Donnellan. Donnellan's up several positions right now. He's up 4 spots, and Donnellan's been driving pretty hard. But the problem right now is Donnellan cannot find a spot to get between Sailors and Kotska. There's just nowhere to go. They've got the whole field covered. Donnellan's got the outside, but there's not enough spot on the outside for him and Sailors, and Sailors is just not giving him the time of day right now. Speaking of which, Sailors now potentially signaling on the inside, but he's going to keep that outside line. Put the squeeze a little bit on Donnellan as we come around here through 2 to the back stretch.
Yeah, we've gotten into just a little hair of lap traffic. At 35 on the outside, Sean Stevens has gone a lap down. Evan Ethel, unfortunately, Rocky he's back now, but he's 11 laps down. Blair Holloman continues to lead here at Iowa, almost a full second ahead of Hunter Hughes and Corey Moore. The top 3 have LG, Andrew Kotska back there in fourth.
As you were saying that, Kotska took 3rd and was able to squeeze past Moore, putting Moore down 1 position from where he started. Kotska with a very, very good move there. Probably one of the smoothest passes up here at the front we've seen, with very little clearance to work with. Kotska's looking at the 18 right now of Hunter Hughes and saying, I got you. And in fact, the computer's giving it to him. It's giving Kotska the nose big time. Oh, the 18 into the wall. That can't be what caused it, though. No, we got some crashing. Joseph Tucker, Kyle Westwood. Sounds like we've got some crashing back in the field a little bit. The 18 of Hunter Hughes did hit the wall, but it was just bad timing. What really happened is going to be on screen here in just a second, folks. We'll get a look at what went down.
Joseph Tucker was back there. Oh my goodness, getting loose off the corner.
Woo!
That was part one of the incident. Here's part two. A couple
Wow.
folks involved there.
Woo! As Rick Fagg would say.
Looks like Joseph Tucker was stuck right behind that little race going on between none other than Colton Gardner and I believe that is
He just
Tyler
got
Beeman, I
assassinated.
believe. Yeah, I believe that was Tyler Beeman and Colton Gardner. Once again, we'd already talked about them. You had talked about if we thought a wreck was going to come from anywhere, it would be there. They had some initial contact coming down the backstretch, and then going into turn 3 and 4, Joseph Tucker is in there 3 wide in the middle, and he's just going to slide up a little bit into the truck on his outside. And there they go off into the wall.
Well, I gotta say, didn't want to call it that way, but it looks like it did end up coming true as we got trucks coming down into pit lane now.
Yep, the leader's down into pit road. There's Tom Ringer also down into pit road.
Yep, looks like everybody's taking it and getting a few things done. We'll look at pit times.
Nearly lost speed coming off pit road there.
We nearly did. Had a very short pit time of 10 seconds. Heath Snyder also only taking gas. Got a number of 14-second pit times. Blair Holloman out there with a 6-second time, or with a 10-second time, and Heath Snyder with 6.5. Blair Holloman holding on to the lead on the race off of pit road.
So Sean Stevens is going to be your lucky dog there. He's going to get back onto the lead lap. A few little updates. Tyler Beeman now 3 laps down. I believe he was a big part of that initial wreck down the backstretch. And Martin Nicotera, I believe, was the truck on the outside of Joseph Tucker there that got quite a bit of damage after they got and made contact with each other and then eventually the wall.
Yeah, that's right. Now let's take a second here really quick, Gage, before we get back into the race, and let's talk about our picks for tonight, which haven't changed for me after the events of what's occurred, just to be clear. But for tonight's pick, I'm giving it to Noah Dzinski. I got a full disclosure, friend of mine. Looking forward to seeing how he does tonight. Go for it, Noah.
Yeah, I think my pick's going to be Heath Snyder. He's going to be an old teammate of mine in this league, actually. A good buddy. I know him as well. So he's running up there in 5th. Started, I believe, where's the back? Yep, started back in 18th, and he's running 5th. Made a lot of time on pit road there, but was already moving up the track. So excited to see how our picks go.
And well, there's one more pick over in the truck. We got Burris. His pick is the number 9, Ringer.
Ringer started on pole tonight. Did fall back a little bit on the start there, but
he did, unfortunately.
Looking for some adjustments maybe on that pit stop to see if he can't get back up into the top 10, running P11 right now.
One can hope. I'm hoping for all of our picks to do very well tonight. Let me just put it that way.
I would agree. So after 29 laps, what are we thinking? I felt like we had a pretty good run there, but
we did.
We'll see if we can get a longer one. I want to see if tire management really becomes a problem, or if we're just going to continue to see maybe now we'll see more cautions.
Well, you're going to see the only thing I'm going to tell you you're going to see is you're going to see another 30 laps before we get our only stage break at lap 50. So at 50 there will be a planned break. So right now it's the 20 lap dash. It's a 20 lap dash to the end to get those early stage points. Part of the reason why Hunter Hughes was able to get away with the time that he did, Heath Snyder was able to get away with the pit time he did. Part of the reason Blair Holloman was able to get away with it was that they're just trying to race the next 20 laps.
Yeah.
Once that's done, the race is going to reset effectively with everybody getting fresh everything, I'm guessing. And we're going to see a race from 70 lap race from 50 to 120. But right now, it looks like the lights are off on the old pace car there. Pacey McPace car.
This time by Blair Holloman. He's going to be restarting in the lead from the top, and he's going to have Andrew Kotzka down his inside to go back racing.
So there goes the green flag. Holloman hits the gas. They're off, and we are go on grid vision for yet some more SSRL racing.
Blair Holloman with an absolute rocket of a restart, gets way out there, nearly half a second just on the restart alone. It's going to be Corey Moore, I believe, and Hunter Hughes getting by Andrew Kotzka, who restarted first on the bottom down there.
Corey Moore, yeah, down on the inside, really taking advantage of the short side of the track here and the variable grading at Iowa to try to find that inner groove. It's going to cost him if he doesn't get the places and can't get back to the outside line. Oh, we got a spin right behind him there.
Hughes,
That's Hunter Hughes going around. Hunter saves
save.
it. He
What
saves
a
it.
save. He's still in trouble.
Wow.
He's going to be near 3 wide back there towards the middle of the pack now.
You can see the nerves on the man's way that he's turning that wheel, but he's keeping it straight. Was able to find his way back into traffic now. He's driving like a bat out of hell. Just doesn't want to lose anything. Way to hold on to it, Hunter Hughes.
That's a phenomenal save coming off of turn 2. We talked a lot about turn 4, but turn 2 can sneak up on you just as much as turn 4 does. It's really easy to get loose off the corners here. We just saw a phenomenal save, and it looks like he's going to try and find a bit of space back there around 12th. So I believe he was 3rd all the way back to 12th with that. Unfortunately to see, but a great save, and he's still got a piece on the track.
Hey, 3rd down to 12th. That's 9 positions, not even 10 lost, and he's still in the race, and we're still green. I'll take it.
Absolutely. Blair Holloman as still up front here. Corey Moore has.
Ooh, we got a spin. We got spinning right now. The number 9's around. That's Tom Ringer. Our own
Ringer.
Taylor Burris' pick, Tom Ringer. Ringer's
pole
around.
sitter.
The flag is out. The pole sitter. Let's see what happened here, folks. Let's try to see what happened. Tom Ringer coming up here on the outside. Gets tucked in. Tries to make a maneuver to the outside. Just snaps on him. The vehicle snaps on him. I think in the back there, the 22 got a little spooked.
Joseph Tucker in it again.
Oh. How do you like that? So here we are with yellow number 2 of the night.
Hate to see it for some of those guys that were just kind of in the back there, as they really, wrecking down the back stretches. You don't have a whole lot of places to go, especially here of all places. There's not a whole lot of room down that back stretch to avoid wrecks when multiple trucks are sideways. So you hate to see it for some of those guys in the very far back that weren't able to get through that, but we are on lap 37 here after a couple laps there. Is that about 5 lap run?
Yeah, you don't have the options. You're exactly right. There are some racetracks where if a guy goes around, takes out someone from right in the middle of the track, you can get around him. You can find a groove on the outside. Hell, you can even go down to an infield in some cases that's just massive, where there's plenty of room to run off and not crash into anybody. But here you don't have that luxury. You just don't have it at Iowa.
No, it's not quite a parking lot like what Martinsville or Bristol would be with cars spinning sideways, but there's definitely not much more room for error there, and it's just part of it here. This is a pretty difficult short track when it comes down to it, with all of the stuff that we've talked about tonight, and stuff like that can happen in a snap of a finger. You got nowhere to go.
And it did. We saw that happen to Tom Ringer there. The snap of a steering wheel. That's all it took.
Absolutely.
Lights still on. Pardon me?
I said absolutely. But like you were saying, the light's still on the pace car. I believe that the leaders probably don't pit here.
No. I think everyone's set up for the next 12 laps just fine. that pit that we had, 5 laps ago or so, 10 laps, eight laps ago, that was going to be enough for them to make it 20 laps on whatever gas they had, whatever tires they had. Now, if you got tires in the last one, you got, I think, how many sets of tires we got tonight? 3 or 4? Let me double check really quick here. That's 1 second. 4 sets. Okay, so if they took a set of tires, they're going to be in good shape. If you were going to go in right now, it would be to get tires, try to win this stage, but you would be going in by yourself, and you would lose position. So there's no point in doing it.
Yeah, a lot of track position lost, and a second of 4 sets of tires would probably be lost, assuming you had taken them on that last
Exactly.
caution.
Exactly. So I'm as we can see, betting on the fact that no one's going to go in. There's just not a strategy to go in at this point in time. When you've got 10 laps, you're going to actually be racing under green to the stage break, which a yellow's coming in 10 laps. And if you can just get there, you're going to be fine. So don't risk it. Don't use the tires up. That's what I think most of these guys are thinking, and I think that's what we're going to see. Beautiful double column forming now as the lights go off in the pace car. We're going to be green this time around at Iowa.
Blair Hallman, once again, the leader on this restart. He's got Corey Moore up to his inside this time. Andrew Kotzka back in 3rd, but he chose the bottom again. Benjamin Stevens finds himself in 4th on the top, and Chad Winigsman is on the bottom. He's going to round out your top 5 coming to restart this time by.
That's right. We'll see what happens here. Holloman approaching the restart zone. As soon as he hits the gas, the rest of them are going to give it. There he goes. His foot is down. The double columns are away. We are go for more racing from the Spartan Sim Racing League. Live on iRacing, on Grid Vision, or via Grid Vision. I forget exactly which verb I was going to say there. But Holloman's out to the front. He's a car length out ahead of Corey Moore right now. Moore holding on to the position from Ben Stevens right behind him. Moore a little bit up into the wall for a second, potentially. Stevens holding on, though, in the Pabst Blue Ribbon car. And behind him, that's Kotzka, and then behind him, we got a little bit more of a battle going on. The battle is for 5th right now, as the yellow flag goes out, and Jason Kratke may have been involved in something.
Yeah, there was a caution back there.
What was that?
I believe I saw what happened here.
No, I was just sorting out the situation for 5th here. I didn't even notice what was going on. But Jason Kratke might have had that. Oh, yep.
Ryan Jallett.
Yep.
It's not going to have anywhere to go there. I think you're right. Jason Kratke was the truck, the 54 truck that got turned sideways there.
Yeah. So we're gonna do some more yellow flag racing here, but I think we're gonna have maybe probably 1 or 2 laps of green before we get our yellow out of it. Our official stage break. Right now, all of the drivers are trying to shake off the rust here. This would be a good time for them to install radios in these cars again. Just let that be the one feature that they put back into these cars. Radios. Not like radios for talking to each other, music radios. Stereos.
Oh, okay.
I want to be entertained while I'm driving 120 miles.
Yeah, there you go. That'd be pretty entertaining. Just catching the top 100 hits or something under caution.
Exactly, and the drivers would make so much on endorsement deals with like who's Joey Logano listening to, who's what's his name? Tyler Reddick listening to today. Like they would make plenty of money just having that kind of information.
Absolutely. It's like, Doja Cat's the top of the board, and, you got... Maybe that's what Blair Hallman's listening to leading the race here tonight at Iowa.
I would love it. I would love it if you were down at an actual track and you heard Doja Cat blasting at 200 miles an hour past your seats. You could barely even pick up a single syllable. Yeah, I think we're changing the game of racing here.
Oh, absolutely.
I love it. Lap, where are we? 45 of 120. We probably got about another 1, maybe 2 to go before we're back under green.
Yeah, a few cars had to pit there for pit damage repair. Not much strategy. I don't believe anyone outside of the top 20 pit.
Nope. Looks like
Alright,
everybody still has a pit count of 1. Yep. Inside, outside. I understand.
We'll do a little race pick check. Your pick. Race pick. Noah Duzinski. Running P20 right now. It's got a little bit of rear end damage on that truck. A little bit of right front damage as well. Right side actually is looking a little rough. That's your pick. Running P20th right now. My pick of Keith Snyder, P9. I think so. I don't see really any damage on that truck. And the Grid Division affiliate. And then Tom Ringer, our own Taylor Burns pick, running back in 29th. Currently in the box, has some damage there. Was caught up in that last, not that last race, but the right before.
Yeah.
So we knew that he was going to be probably back there a little ways.
That's right. And this is the 3rd yellow of the night, I believe, if you guys are keeping track at home. If anybody's playing the home game.
Lights are off on the pace car. It's going to be 1 to green this time by Top 5 is currently Blair Hallman once again. Restarting on the outside, Corey Moore on the bottom. Ben Stevens picked the inside as he was in 3rd this time over Andrew Kotzka, who is in 4th, and Jordan Sanders in 5th has picked the inside of Chad Whittington, who was the 5th place truck last restart. So the top 6, no changes, maybe just a few spots there, but we're getting ready. Pack is packed back up, ready to go green here in Iowa.
Heck yeah. Holloman out to the front. Coming around. More on the inside.
Had some really good restarts. Be interested to see if Corey Moore can hang on a bumper here maybe this time.
Would be nice to see. We're in the zone now where the green flag waves, and so it goes. There they go. Into 1 goes Holloman. He goes ahead and takes the middle line, and it looks like Moore is losing the bumper almost immediately, unfortunately. Just so much raw speed out of Holloman on these launches. He gets a couple of car lengths, and then he just holds on to it the rest of the race. At least that's how he's done it so far.
Absolutely. Blair Hallman has really just taken off on all these restarts. It's been tough to keep up with him. Corey Moore did a phenomenal job in that last restart to not lose too much time to him on the restart, but it looks like this time Benjamin Stevens had a good enough run. He's going to get up side by side there for 2nd as they go off into 3 and 4 as Andrew Kotzka trying to maybe put it 3 wide there, but they're going to be 2 by 2 as the caution is back out here in Iowa.
Now that's the official lap 50 caution. That's going to be our stage break for tonight's race. Taking things to a nice lull. You're going to see some cars taking this opportunity to pit, I think. To get things set up. Even on a full tank of gas, though, you're going to need 1 more pit to get through the next race, next part of the race. So let's keep our eyes on things here. I think it might be time for a commercial break, though. We've done 50 laps, so let's throw it to commercial. And we'll be back in a little bit for more racing on Grid Vision.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
We are back, lap 54 of 120 tonight at Iowa, the SSRL Truck Racing Series. I'm Joe LaCastro, joined by Gage Swan in the booth and Taylor Burris in the truck. Welcome back to Grid Vision, everybody. The green flag is about to fly once more. We're going to get back to some green flag racing here as everybody's getting back into the double column. Going around 3 into 4. Looking forward to getting things kicked off again. Let's get some more green flag racing going.
I agree with you there, Joe. As here we go, green flag coming out right now as Benjamin Stevens is your leader. As we did have some cars stay out during that pit stop, so we've got a new top 5 of Benjamin Stevens, Jay Salmon, Brian Britt, Patrick Stein, and James Staples is your top 5 as we have a caution back out again.
Whoa! Into turn 1, there was a little stack up I saw, it looks like.
Tom Ringer might be involved once again. So we'll try to get a replay of that.
You gotta be careful on these restarts. You can't drive over, folks. Let's have a look here.
A big pile up in front of Tom Ringer. Who I believe
Yeah, it was
is
very
not
ahead of him.
involved. Heath Snyder's involved in the 29 Grid Vision truck.
Yeah. Let's put some eyes on. Oof. 53.
Yeah, it looked like they just checked up on the inside there, and someone just got into the back of someone else and sent some trucks up the track. Just a little bit of a stack up. Picked off a few trucks there. Heath Snyder was involved in that.
Yeah.
So, looks like my pick has got some damage now. But pretty clean for the top 10 to 15 cars.
All right. 57 out of 120. Couldn't quite get a full lap done, unfortunately. Still shaking off the rust.
Yeah, since that first caution, it hasn't seemed like we've gotten longer than a 5-lap run. Just a
It's
little
limited
bit
about
of racing incidents since then.
Yeah, unfortunate but
Nothing
true.
too major, but that does, you know, change up strategy a little bit. Some of these guys that stayed out there are able to save a little bit of gas. Like you said, you still are gonna have to pit one more time, but the more gas you save, the less you have to take on pit road. So track position, I mean, Benjamin Stevens running up front here. We had not really talked about him a whole lot towards until the end of that stage, really.
Let's see
Here
what
he
Ben
is.
Stevens can do here. I'm gonna give him the keys to the city. Like he has right now. A couple of notable numbers right now, though. Jay Sam and Patrick Stein, both up 18 places from where they started. Brian Britt up 13, Charles Abert up 18, James Staples up 22 places from where he started right now. From 28th place to 6th.
James Staples having a good night now.
Absolutely. The man is an opportunist, as we've seen.
A lot of these names in the top 10 we haven't really said a lot tonight. And with that stage break, it's huge. It changes and flips it around, puts a lot of the trucks that, you know, are picks and a lot of the guys that ran up front into the mix, into the back of the pack. We hadn't really seen Andrew Koska, Jordan Sailors, Corey Moore, Blair Holland. Most of the guys that have been running in Speedway, we haven't seen them really be in the pack all day. They started up front for the most part. They've been running up front. Now we have to see them pick their way through the field, see if they can navigate through some of these trucks. And the biggest one is see if they can survive what that seemed to be a little bit of, you know, some more frequent cautions recently.
Speaking of survival, it's about time to see how long we can survive yet again. As the green flag is getting ready to wave, the lights are out on the pace car. And we're going into turn 2. Coming out the backstretch.
Our top 5 here's going to be Benjamin Stevens, who is on the outside. Jay Salmon on the inside in that 67 truck. Patrick Stein running 3rd. I believe he is on the inside. With Brian Britt running 4th on the outside. And Charles Abert running 5th. Back there also on the inside as we are about to take the green flag here in Iowa.
Here it comes. There goes the pace car. Green flag is waving. Ben Stevens is on the gas. And we're away.
Benjamin Stevens with an incredible restart as he gets really far out there. The outside didn't really have any problems. The inside kind of got stacked up there as Jay Salmon does finally come out into 2nd place here. But Benjamin Stevens with a great restart.
Absolutely. And we didn't make it a full lap again. The yellow flag is out. Unfortunately. Looks like it was the 06 of Noah Dzinski. Oh, all of our picks are going down, boys.
It seems to be a curse tonight that if you were picked by someone on broadcast, that you were going to get caught up in at least something tonight, as that is, I believe, the... Yep, that was Noah. So that was your pick, Joe.
Yep.
Going up in that one.
I'm sure I'll hear about it later. They'll tell me not to pick him again next time. Which I won't ever again. As a comeuppance. There you go.
Well, there you go. Is that a little bit of a commentator's curse? A little bit of a booth curse? Possibly?
Oh, very much so.
As all 3 of our picks have been involved in something tonight.
Here we go. Let's
get a replay.
this. Just got spun around and into the wall. It was a one-man accident.
Looked like he just got loose there on entry. Coming on the high side. It's bumpy everywhere here, so might have hit a few bumps, but just got a little loose, overcorrected, got back into the wall, Take some rubber hammers to that, some mallets, put some tape on it, and they'll keep on trucking for tonight.
Yep. Yep. Call it a day. Okay. Lap 64 of 120, just a little over halfway there.
Just a little over halfway, and give a little bit of an update of some of those guys that have been running up towards the front. Chad Winningsmith finds himself in P9 currently. Blair Holloman, who led a majority of our laps tonight, if not the most, is running P10, found his way back into the top 10 now. Corey Moore back in 13th, Andrew Kotska in 14th, and Jordan Sailors back in 15th. Haven't had a whole lot of time to really make moves and get back up towards the front as we have been pacing here. But in those couple laps under green, some of those guys finding themselves making a few passes as hopefully we get the one to green here.
I think we will on this time around. Let's take a look and see.
Not looking like we're getting the one to green yet.
Looking at how things have shaped up here, there's been a little bit of mixing up. We covered this a little bit earlier, but for anybody tuning in now, Ben Stevens, Jay Salmon, Patrick Stein are at the top right now. That mixes things up from where we used to have Blair Holloman. There is no Blair Holloman. There is a Blair Holloman. We had Blair Holloman toward the front, and we've had a few people circle back through some wrecks and things like that, but Holloman was a very dominating force earlier in this race. I'm excited to see if maybe he'll make his way back up toward the front.
And I think our biggest mover of the night is James Staples running P5. Like you said earlier, he is now sitting at plus 23 positions on the night. Qualified back in 28, he's running 5th. Having a really good night in that 24 truck. See what he can do on this restart, and we do have the one to green now.
That's what we'd like to see. One to green, going through the back stretch. These guys are thirsty for some green flag racing. We've seen it earlier. It can be done with these treacherous restarts. When your tires are still a little buttery, everyone should have gotten tires in that last one. And you know what? The people who haven't been wrecking are also the people who did not get tires. The folks up here at the front.
Very true. As we're going green, Benjamin Stevens with the restart. He's going to clear Jay Salmon looking like into turn 1. As the top 5 gets off into one pretty cleanly.
Doing good. I've got my eyes in the back of the pack right now. It looks like everybody made it through that first turn. One car to the inside, though.
Yep, that's going to be the 07. He got turned there towards the inside wall, made contact, but no caution so far. We're still green as they continue on.
As we keep moving on, keep moving on. Moving on, keeping on, as they say. Here, Patrick Stein is in our official 4th place spot, but he's got to fight it off right now from Blair Holloman, who's trying to work his way back up to where he was. Holloman looking to make the pass now on the outside on Stein. The nose, he's got it by just that much. Stein comes up, gives him a bit of a squeeze, not a huge one, it just says take it.
Yup, here we go. Blair Holloman back into the top 5. This is what we were looking for. Enough time for some of these guys who had fresh tires to start making their way to the field. Kotska and Jordan Sailors on the bottom of the 17 truck of Nico Terra, I believe. And is another caution.
Another yellow is out. Well, speculation here. Looks like let's see. Fuse potentially. Let's see. Yep. Let's see if he gets tapped though. This guy right behind him.
See if we can get a replay of that. Fuse on the bottom, coming up the track, makes contact, and it's just gonna send him around.
Yeah. He was just rough driving.
Just looking like a racing incident there. One truck kind of coming down off the corner, the other one coming up off the corner, and they made contact. And looking like he got the worst of it as he was spun down towards the inside wall.
Just a bit now. We've got everybody coming in for tires and gas. I'm guessing a little bit of both. 70 out of 120. Still got 50 laps to go. You could put everything on it right now and make it to the end.
Some guys towards the back did stay out here, as we do have Gary Donnell on now as your interim leader.
Gary Donnell.
So that is going to be your leader with Tom Ringer back there in second. Brandon Stevens is back there in sixth, as he was the leader. So it looks like pretty much everybody went down the road, got at least gas. Assuming some of these guys got tired as well.
I'm assuming that they did too. I think you're onto something there. It would be the appropriate time to get them because you're going to be racing basically a second race now. You know exactly how long they take to run off, to fall off. You know how long they take based on how hard driving is. You've done all this research on it. Let's get some fresh tires.
Yeah, definitely a couple different strategies here in play. With those last couple of cautions, I would like to think that these guys that have stayed out here might have been pitting down them. I know Tom Ringer was definitely down pit road recently repairing some of that damage, so if he was continuously topping off with fuel, then they might have enough fuel in the machine to see if they can get these last 50 or so laps.
That would be cutting it so close. I mean, it's just insane. Last thing I want to see is a truck run out of gas. Worst feeling in the world, I'm sure.
I would agree.
So let's see who's thinking ahead with the big brain power like that. Let's hope that they time things just so. Here they come down. The beginnings of two columns, kind of lazily forming. It's fine. 74 out of 120, coming around to 75. And we've unfortunately had a lot of yellow flag racing tonight.
That's really how this place can end up being sometimes, with it being a short track and with it being a pretty tough place to drive with all of the bumps and just the general layout of the track. It can really just, cautions can happen almost anywhere here. So
They really can, especially in 1 and 2, which is where we've seen so many cautions come out tonight.
we really have. We talked pre-race about it being turn 4 being the area where we thought we would see the most action, but it has really been turns 1 and 2 tonight. A lot of the cautions have been there and even on the backstretch.
I think that's from overconfident driving a little bit to a degree. Just guys who are getting lead-footed and can't quite let go when they need to reassess, rebalance the car. You're driving it like it's a bat out of hell, and it's only one way, only one gear that thing knows exactly how to get to that gear.
about to hit the restart zone as Gary Donnellan's going to lead us back to green. Tom Ringer back there in second. Scott Schroeder, Chad Winsman, and Jordan Smith running on the top five. Gary Donnellan going to clear everybody going into one. See if we get some good green flag racing here as Chad Winsman comes flying off turn 2 on the high side.
Love it. The top three doing pretty good right now to keep it steady. Back, the battle for 4 is too wide, as well as the battle for 5th and 6th. Jordan Sailors versus Scott Shore. The yellow flag is out once more, folks, and it looks like Jay Salmon may have had some issues. Let's see what happens.
There was a truck sideways back there. I believe it's a 67. Jay Salmon there, yep. This gets turned around in front of a good majority of the field. A lot of trucks missed it.
Thankfully.
That's what we were just talking about. We hadn't seen much action in turn 4. Lo and behold, commentators curse hits, and they just about wreck. And coming off turn 4. As we are back under caution for SSRL here at Iowa Speedway. Lap 77 120.
Oof, that commentator's curse.
Never fails.
I've tried to figure out any solution I can to get around it. I cannot figure it out. If I ever say I like this guy for any reason, he's out of the running. But right now Tom Ringer's doing all right, despite being a little bit offset. He's doing all right.
Taylor Burris's pick, running 7th on Ringer. Did have some damage earlier, but has found himself back inside the top 10. Hoping to see if he can't finish a good night off here. It's a very interesting restart there. I thought that we would see a lot of those trucks that had just taken tires kind of steamrolling through on the restart, having just a lot more grip, but we didn't really see a whole lot of that. Gary Donnellan felt pretty comfortable up front. Chad Winningsman got to his side. They were racing for the lead, but a lot of the other guys through the top 10 didn't really struggle too much.
Okay. Almost to 80 now. And most of it's been under yellow.
We did have that initial 20-lap green flag run. Some good racing involved. And since then, it has seemed like our longest run has been around 5 laps.
Yep. Unfortunate. But we're going to be here, making sure that we keep an eye on all of the goings-on.
I had a good feeling about that restart that led us into the stage break. I had a feeling that it's going to be a green flag run, and then we're at the stage.
Yeah, the stage going to put an examiner on that pretty fast. I didn't even expect the stage when it hit, to be honest. I forgot it was going to hit for about 3 or 4 laps. And I was like, why are we getting a yellow? Oh yeah. Stage break. Second, Stevens in third. A nice motley crew. Gettysman driving hard. I got a feeling we're going to see during the next 40 laps some serious drop off from. Well, everybody's taking 2 tires now.
I would agree.
Yeah, it's going to be something.
I think that 2 tires here is a very tough decision to make, and I feel like 9 times out of 10 it's not going to be a very beneficial decision.
The lights are off. One more ceremonial lap around, and then it's back on.
keep an eye out for P6, that 32 truck of Blair Holloman, our stage 1 winner. It's restarting the 3rd truck on the outside. Expect to see him drive to the front here in this restart.
Yep, Holloman is hungry. He is chomping at the bit. And then we're going to see exactly what he can do here. I can guarantee that.
His car is off. Gary Donnellan in the restart zone. As we are under green flag conditions here once again, Gary Donnellan looking with a good start. Shoots out front there. Chad had a pretty good restart there on the inside. But the first 2 trucks are going to single out as here comes Chad off the corner. He's going to get side by side with Gary Donnellan for the lead.
Love it. Look at that. Chad Genningsman side by side. Barely ahead of Donnellan. Excuse me, Genningsman barely ahead of Donnellan now. Donnellan now falling back several places to 4th.
Yeah, 3 wide into 1 and 2 after Gary Donnellan making contact with the outside wall as a truck on the inside gets loose.
And that's, did you save it? Did you save
that
it?
was Benjamin Stevens that got loose on the bottom there. While they were 3 wide coming off turn 2. Great save from Benjamin Stevens.
What a save. What a save. That was the second big save we've seen tonight.
But Chad Winningsman is your leader. Trying to pull away towards Sailors. Get him a little bit of trouble. Blair Holloman back there in P4. I said keep an eye out for him. He's making good work of Gary Donnellan now. Scott Schroeder is going to round off the top 5 on this restart.
Let's see who's putting it too wide right there. That would be Gary Donnellan and Blair Hoffman. Hoffman, knowing when to hold him, slides in behind Gary. And we'll see when he decides to strike. It's going to happen. We'll see.
Caution is going to come out once again here at Iowa. Lap 86 of 120, 87 of 120.
And with another yellow flag out, we get another opportunity. Whoa!
I believe that is Gabriel Onday in the 6th truck.
That was it. That's all it's going to take for that. Hopefully he's still racing.
Got a little loose coming off too, was not able to save it as he had a big wiggle there coming down the back.
Yeah. Well,
a lot
what
of
a
trucks
whip.
trying to miss him. A lot of trucks trying to miss him there. And just ends up hitting the outside wall. That is going to be another caution.
Yes, indeed. And let's see. The drivers have more or less gone silent as if it's settling in that this is going to be a caution-filled latter half of the race.
Through
Unless they all get it together.
We are through 87 laps here on lap 88, and that is our 9th caution of the night.
Jeez Louise, 9 cautions.
9 cautions before lap 100.
I feel like I should have a little punch card. You get a free sandwich if you get your 11th caution before, too long. Everybody is lining up, getting very friendly, waiting for the robot to show up.
Getting through this race here at Iowa. Slowly, maybe, but we're getting through it as Our
Trying.
leader, Chad Winningsman, finds himself out front. Jordan Sailors in P2, Blair Hallman in third, Patrick Stein fourth, Benjamin D. Stevens in fifth place.
Thank you for that. And we're going to be coming to 30 laps to go here under caution, as this race just keeps on clicking by. $90 of 120 officially right now. So when's the last time that you raced, Gage?
That is a question I don't recall that I can answer. It has been a while.
Yeah, it's been about a week for me.
Well, mine's been a lot longer than a week.
The last time I got in the simulator, it was Iowa Trucks, because it was about this time last week.
There you go. So you're familiar with what we're seeing on track tonight?
I am, and I hated it. I was not very good at Iowa. I think I got 7th overall in the McConey Truck Series. I just did. It did not. I did not do very well.
Yeah, it is honestly a very tough place to really get a hold of it. There's just so many bumps, and it's very easy to get loose off if you're running a pretty good set. I'm not sure
I
how
had no
things
idea.
work, but
I had no idea about those bumps. The light's off now in the pace car, though. Those bumps are vicious.
coming into turn 3, now turn 4. Gonna be coming to the green this time by. The
Looking
pace
forward
car
to it.
is off. Restart zone. As Chad Williamson goes, Jordan Sailors, it looked like he had a good jump there, but got a little squirrely. Chad Williamson's going to shoot off into turn 1 by himself. They're gonna be
Yes,
2 by
sir.
2 pretty much all the way back.
And down to the inside with Sailor. Sailor is now working with Blair Holloman a little bit, and Patrick Stein. Stein in the 88. He's just jockeying for position right now with Blair. Blair holding him back just a little bit, able to keep him out of the top third is Patrick Stein, but Blair wants it. And we've seen that what Blair wants, Blair tends to get. Right now, Blair is down 2 positions from where they started, but it still is a position where he could very, very easily get it back. And we have another yellow flag.
About a lap and a half of green flag racing there before the clock came back out. Not a whole lot happened up towards the front, position-wise.
Nope.
So our top 5, I believe, is the same.
Yep, unfortunately, it's just another delayed restart of the situation that we just had, but with a little bit sleepier tires, you know, a little warmed up tires, I mean. But we're just warming them up, cooling them down, warming them up, cooling them down, over and over again with all these yellows. Let's see, what else we got here? We might be ready for our final commercial break. Let's wait and see if we get one more yellow. It's a little late to start one right now, I think. treacherous lady.
I'll go ahead and give us a booth pick update. As my pick of Heath Snyder running P31, 37 laps down, involved in one of those big wrecks earlier, has not continued on. I believe they have packed it up and left the track. Noah Uzinski, your pick, Joe, running 5 laps down in the P27. I believe still on track, but has been caught up in a couple incidents himself. And Taylor Burris in the truck, pick of, excuse me, where'd he go? I lost it. I lost him. Tom Ringer, back in 23rd, but on the lead lap. And that has been our pick update for the race. So, none of our picks inside the top 20. Unfortunate for those guys, as they have been commentator cursed, and we apologize. But not really any of them having good days at the moment.
Nope. No, no, no.
So we are going to come to lap 97. And the leader is Chad Winningsman.
Let's see how Chad does. He's been doing fantastic so far. And so I have nothing but high expectations for him, especially for the latter half of this race, given that it's so crunched down. This is where Chad Ginningsman can really shine.
Yeah, for sure. He's been an absolute rocket on these last couple of restarts. It feels like the leader has been all night long. A lot of the second place cars have been really struggling to keep it side by side with that lead truck. There's just so much power in having the ability to choose when to go in that restart zone. But Chad's done a good job, just like a lot of the other guys up front have done all night long. And so if he can get himself clear into one, I think he's got a really good chance at a win here. 120 laps. We are coming to lap 98, as it should be 1 to green.
Yep, it looks like we've just had the race adjusted a little bit. Cut a few laps out of the race tonight. We are going to 107 laps tonight. And we are going to have a green flag very shortly here because the lights are off. That's interesting. I guess all the yellows maybe pushed us past our scheduled time a little bit. And we're going to be cutting things a little bit short with a race going to 107 laps here on the Spartan Sim Racing League tonight. Brought to you by Grid Vision. I'm just going to make sure that's actually the case though here. From what I see on screen, things might have changed, but we want to make sure that we're broadcasting the right information here, folks. So stand by if you're watching. We'll see what's up. There's the green flag.
Once again here at Iowa, Chad Wingsman with a very big jump on the outside.
Yep, he's already gone. Then they're too wide a little bit.
Blair Holloman into P2 as we get another caution, and the whole field looks like they're in this.
Wow, the big one. That's got to be the biggest one of the night so far in terms of overall cars involved. Oh no.
35
sounds like one of our
truck of
drivers.
John Stevens in it. I believe that Tom Ringer was also in that one.
That's going to be a beautiful replay.
Oh wow, there was just a big pile up there. A lot of cars involved. James Siegel was involved. 6 of Gabriel Onde involved.
Jeez Louise. Looks like one of the drivers may have forgotten to shift down to second out of third gear for the restart.
I believe Evan Ethel was also involved in that. A lot of trucks.
Oh.
Yeah. No, it should still be 120. I see one. Yeah, no worries.
Sailors, 4 places back. Stein, 17 places back. So a lot of turnover has been happening here. But the only consistent thing is Blair Holloman. So just to confirm, folks, we are going to do 120 laps. It looks like the timing is just displaying the wrong number, but keep in mind we are going to 120 right now, and we're at 101.
So we are going to keep that regularly scheduled 120 laps here at Iowa, not 107. But just a quick update. Blair Holloman has found his way up into P2. Chad Winningsman is still your leader. Jordan Saylor's running in third. Patrick Stein fourth. And Benjamin D. Stevens in fifth. The top 5 has not changed for a good bit of time now, as we did just have the big one here at Iowa.
Yeah, probably the biggest one in terms of overall number of cars touching cars. It didn't really look as vicious as it could have been. There was no flipping or real like hard spinning or debris, but there was definitely a lot of contact and a straight up traffic jam of cars, all blocking 2.5 whole lanes of traffic.
Yeah, when you hear the terms "the big one," you instantly think, oh, a lot of guys just had their days ended in one wreck. And typically that is the case, but at short tracks, that's not always the case. If enough trucks pile into it at a high enough speed, it might have some trucks that might have their day in. But for the most part, that does not mean that there are trucks out of this race from that wreck. A lot of these guys can go back to pit road. They can go sit there as the team works on it and get repairs, and they can get back out there. I mean, the speeds here are nowhere near as fast as what you would have at Homestead or Talladega and other tracks like that. And so the big one here, even though that was, yes, the big one for sure, it didn't really take out a whole lot of trucks. We've still got a whole bunch of trucks that are still in this thing and still have a chance and a shot to win.
Very good. Yes, we do. They still have a good shot to win. There's some chances here that could play out as we get the guys back on the track.
I'll be interested to see if we can get this green flag run going, as we are on lap 104 currently out of 120. We are not out 5 laps today.
Yeah.
But the viewers know. So if we
No,
can get a
not
good
quite.
run, we'll see what can happen here, as this is a short track. Bumper runs are very famous here. So we'll see if we can get a nice little run to end this race off and see what happens as far as finish goes. But
Cool.
your leader, Chad Winningsman, as we are taking the green flag, this time by Blair Holloman up in the second. On the bottom, Patrick Stein on the top. Jordan Saylors is actually the truck in third on the bottom, and then Benjamin Stevens on the bottom, and P5 to round off your top 5 as we go green for Iowa.
Green flag is out. We've got another stretch to go here. Looking for the 120 mark at Iowa. Out in front, Chad Ginningsman by a couple car lengths there, and then after that, Blair Holloman, just like we just talked about. Jordan Saylors and Patrick Stein find it out for the good spot there, but it looks like Saylors has got Stein by a nose. Stein on the outside. He can potentially make it. Not enough speed. Not enough speed right now. Stein's going to fall back a little bit while Saylors goes ahead and claims that spot. All the cars here straightening out pretty much almost immediately into a nice string formation. A little bit of a battle going on a little bit further back, though. It looks like Christopher Few, not Christopher Few, Gary Donnellan was currently fighting it out with Drew Prohl. Donovan's car into the back, pardon me, of the 24 now. Can't get around. The 80's going to make the move.
Yeah, it looks like the top 10 is kind of single filed out here. The top 5 hasn't changed at all. But Jordan Saylors is looking to make a move on Blair Holloman for possibly second, as Brandon Stevens jumps out to the bottom under Patrick Stein.
goes. Dennings is out front by several car lengths now, almost a full second. Holloman, Sailors, Stein, everybody's lined up. They just want to finish the race. Back a little ways, we got Jay Salmon on the outside, getting passed on the inside by Logan Joyle. Joyle looking for it on the inside of the turn here, dives the turn inside, very good. Holds on to it while behind Jay Salmon, Brian Alpin having a little trouble on some of these, the middle of these turns, very apex, holding himself down there.
Yeah, Blair Holloman up in P2. Didn't really gain any time on Chad that lap. In fact, it seems like he lost a 10, has done a little bit better this time by, but he's going to need to start gaining some time back on Chad if he wants a shot to win this thing. Chad is just kind of putting it together as there's a car spinning off turn 4. No caution as of now, but that's going to be the 12 truck who's currently sitting in the infield.
No caution is wild. No caution is wild.
Here comes the leader back to the start-finish line as there is still no caution. That was Gary Donnellan on the inside. He's going to go a lap down now, but he's running P20.
Yep, I think if they go down across the yellow line there, it doesn't count. It actually goes into an out-of-bounds area. So I think he did go down there. So that probably what saved us there. Whoa!
Wow. As that was, I believe, your pick. Noah Duzinski spun and was up against the wall right in front of our leaders. So we are back under caution. That was a little bit scary for Chad Winnigsman.
That was scary. Oh, Duzinski out potentially. That's really rough.
Just gets loose going into turn 3 and overcorrects up into the wall. Looks like all the leaders got around him just fine, but...
Yep. And I think that he just got DQ'd for an incident level, unfortunately. That'll be the end of the race for Noah Duzinski. My pick. My man.
So looks like our 2 picks are not going to get the job done tonight.
No.
The last pick, Tom Ringer, is back up into the top 15. He's running 15. So we'll see what Taylor Burris' pick, Tom Ringer, can do here. But we're going to be going to green with it looks like maybe 4 or 5 laps to go. It's going to be a shootout. Chad Winnigsman, your leader, has had and done a pretty good job in these last couple of restarts as the leader. Blair Holman didn't really have anything for him that time. We'll see if they can put something together on what looks to be possibly the last restart of the race.
Yep. If there's a green-white checkered, this is going to be one of them, I'm pretty sure.
Knock on wood, but we believe that most of these guys in the top 10 to 15 should be good on fuel, and so not looking like any of these guys are probably going to pit at all. You'd think, you know, just a couple laps to go. The track position is going to be the only thing that matters at this point in the race, as Chad Winnigsman is your leader.
Yep, and car weight too. You know, you don't want to add fuel on top of the car when you don't need to. You don't want to add weight to the car when it doesn't need to be there.
Yeah, I think what you would like to see is maybe some of these guys running back 9-10, which is going to be Corey Moore, Andrew Cogswell. Some of the guys that were running up into the top 5 early on in the race, maybe take a strategy call. Maybe shoot down pit road for some tires, see what you can do. I believe that we did have a long enough run to where it could be a difference here, but it's a hard decision to make because you're giving up track position. You got to earn that back just to make anything out of it, and so you never really know if it's going to pay off.
No, you don't. You really don't until you get there, and we're almost there.
We are almost there. You'd even think that maybe Tom Ringer in 15, you know, there's only 21 trucks on the lead lap at this time. That maybe 15 is far enough in the pack, but high enough to where you can make that up in a turn or 2 if you were to take tires. If you had a set hanging around, there was only 4 sets, so, you know, maybe
you might have one.
A lot of these trucks still have one.
I bet they do, because a lot of these trucks look like they only took 2 stops. Some took 3, but a lot of the guys several guys up here at the front only took 2.
So you'd have to say there are some sets in there for some of these guys running up front, but it'll be interesting to see. I believe we will be getting 1 to go this time by, and that would also mean that we would be having a 3-lap shootout.
Yeah, 3-lap shootout. Yep, just about. Just about. The Genningsman, Holloman, Sailors shootout is about to start. Lights are off. Getting ready. Well, first we're going into 2s. We're coming down to the back stretch, but the lights are off on the pace car. So we're going to get going here pretty soon. I'm excited to see this last minute shootout, see how that plays out.
It's going to be 4 to go this time by as we take the green flag. Could be a preview of a green-white checkered.
Could be.
Hoping to not have to use any of those tonight.
That's the game plan.
Chad Winningsman gonna lead the field back to green as the pace car is off into the restart zone. Chad gets going, and here we go. 4 laps to go at the line. Chad Winningsman, it's a great restart turning off into turn 1.
Huge restart. Gunningsman turning it off into turn 1. Holding on to that lead, stretching it out. He's about 0.7 seconds away from Stein now. Stein taking that spot from Stevens. Looking back a little ways, we lost. Who did we just lose? Someone fell back a little ways there. But I'm looking around. My right brain is unfortunately fried, but Genningsman's still up there at the front with Blair Holland right behind him. Oh, I didn't scroll up high enough. That's right. So,
here we
Jordan
go.
Sanders.
We're about to go to 2 laps to go. Chad Winningsman is your leader. Can Blair Holloman or Jordan Sailors do anything to challenge for that lead, or are they just going to challenging for second, as it looks like Chad is pulling a little bit more time as Sailors makes the move on Blair Holloman for second. Can he do anything with 2 laps to go?
2 laps to go. Genningsman's a little bit far ahead. He's got a gap to close that's 0.68 and growing. With those 2 laps, I'm not sure he's going to be able to do it, but there's other things going on too. There is a 2-wide battle still going on between Gardner and Kotska. Kotska just cannot find a spot past Gardner in the 21 on the inside there.
Winningsman coming off of 4 for the final time tonight at Iowa. It looks like it's going to be Chad Winningsman to win the race, with Jordan Sailors behind him and Blair Holloman finishing in 3rd.
That's it. Looking good. The unofficial numbers say it.
Patrick Stein, P4. Benjamin Stevens, P5.
Kyle Westwood's P6. Rob Yost, P7. Colton Gardner in 8th. Andrew Kotska in 9th. And Corey Moore in 10th. We're going to take it to commercial, folks, after we watch our boy here burn it down real quick. There we go. And when we come back, we're going to give you the full results from tonight's race and a few interviews with our winners. Welcome back to Grid Vision, ladies and gentlemen. We just finished enjoying a race at Iowa. It was a bit stop and start, but let's give you the results. Chad Genningsman, your winner tonight. Second place, Jordan Sailors. The bronze medal goes to Blair Holloman. Fourth place, Patrick Stein. Fifth, Benjamin Stevens. Sixth, Kyle Westwood. Seventh, Rob Yost Jr. Eighth, Colton Gardner. Ninth, Andrew Kotska. And 10th, Corey Moore.
Yep, back there in P11 is going to be Logan Joyle. 12th, Gary Donnellan. 13th, Jay Salmon. 14th, Brian Britt. Brian Alphin in 15th. Drew Prohl in 16th. Tom Ringer. Our own Taylor Burris' pick. Back there in 17th. Christopher Fuge, 18th. Charles Abert in 19th. And Sean Stevens rounding out your top 20.
Going around to the other side of the board now. In 21st, Jason Kratke. 22nd, James Staples. 23rd, Gabriel Andy. 24th, Art Nicotera. 25, Evan Ethel. 26, Hunter Hughes. 27, Joseph Tucker. 28, Scott, let's just go down the list. Noah Dazinski. 28th, Scott Schroeder. 29th, Brendan Barrier. I'm just going to roll through here real quick. 30, Heath Snyder. 31st, Ryan Jalek. 32nd, Dave Hugh Jr. And 33rd, Tyler Beam. So let's take a moment. We're going to see who we can reach out to and get here up on the radio. I do believe I see Blair Holloman, our third place winner. We're going to pull Blair up in here and have a conversation. Blair, do you hear us tonight?
Yeah, how's it going, guys?
Hey, doing pretty good. Congratulations on that third place finish. You're only down one place from where you started. Can you tell us how you felt going into tonight's race?
Yeah, coming into tonight's race, the goal was pretty much just finish in the top 5. I know I had like a 20-point gap there coming into today to try to get Group 1 done. Getting that stage win at the beginning of the first stage, that was big, helping the points thing. So once we got to that point, it's like, all right, now I just got to race the points, be smart, don't get taken out by one of these unfortunate incidences, and hopefully we'll finish up toward the front. Able to get a third place, I can't be mad at that.
Absolutely. And you really did manage to hold on to those positions too. Very, very impressive work. Given that we had a lot of starting and stopping, you managed to work your way back up after the tires strategy. So now I want to flip the question and say, toward the end of the race, was there a specific wreck where you might have thought maybe that was it for me, or like what was the strategy with all the wrecking going on?
Yeah, I was anticipating like maybe one caution during that last 70 lap stint. The fact that we had almost like 8 kind of put a damper into things, because I was anticipating one more stop, and I was hoping to do a 2-tire stop there and give the truck just a little wedge. This thing wasn't too bad on the high side, but I feel like with 2 tires I got the truck to rotate a little more, which means I could have potentially had more speed through the corner. But with all the stopping and starting, the bed was made. There was no pitting, because if you pit, you're liable to get in the next accident back there. So it's just
that's true.
Stay up front and try not to get freight train going into turn 1.
Alrighty, is there anybody you want to thank tonight or shout out to?
Yeah, a couple quick people. Team captain, Rob Yost. On the truck, the hood has Holloman Napa Auto Parts. That's my cousin Tad's business. On the side of the truck, we got Macro Tools. It's with my tool guy, Royce Salisbury. And ACR Autocore Recycling. That's my buddy Brian Lefevre's business. Pretty much, those are the guys that want me to do this sim racing thing. Like they know I got a knack for it, and they like to support it. And of course, I want to thank my dad, because I know he's watching. He's probably entertained. Although we had a lot of cautions, it still was some good racing tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you for your time and for your shout outs, and we're looking forward to seeing some more performance from you very soon.
Yeah, thank you, guys. I know I'm gonna miss next week with work training, but I'll be back here soon enough.
Real old. Thank you very much, Blair, and we're looking forward to having you.
See you guys.
All right, take care and have a great rest of your night. Next up, after we finish talking to Blair, we're going to be talking to Jordan Sailors. Jordan, do you hear us?
I got you.
All right. Well, we've got you pegged for second place here. Very good job. Can you tell us what do you think held you back from closing that gap on Genningsman?
just having fresher tires. I still had the tires I had on at lap 50, so I saved a sub. I came in and topped off at lap 72, and yeah, that's what held me back. But I had a heck of a set built by Andrew Kotska. He builds our sets for our team for this season, and it was the best set I've ever run here. We definitely had I want to say we had race winning pace. We all finished pretty good as a team. I know we had, I think Tyler got wrecked out early in the race, but I mean, overall we all finished good. And I'm tired of finishing dead last. This is great too. So.
Well, I'm glad that you made it up to this this point. It was wild trying to watch you during those last couple of laps, just trying to close that gap there. Was there another point in the race where you thought you had the edge, maybe that you could get that try to work that strategy over on the rest of the racers, besides trying to fight with Chad?
Yeah, considering we got a lot of, we didn't have really any green flag runs.
Only that one at the beginning a little bit.
Yeah, so it was really it wasn't a good race at all. It was a disaster for most everybody. I got out there clean. Yeah. I got 0x, but I couldn't. I really just wanted to get stage points tonight. I checked that off the list and then just finished good. I think I finished 19th and 20th in the first couple of races. I've been pretty good in the truck, so I wanted to get better finishes off, and I got that checked off tonight. But yeah, this race was awful. My strategy could not have been used at all, besides the strategy in the stage. So.
Gotcha. Well, sometimes it just works out, doesn't it? It's nice to see that you were able to get second place out of all of that. Congratulations. Is there somebody that you'd like to shout out to, or someone you want to give thanks to today?
Yeah, I'll thank Andrew for building the sets for us. Thanks for Dave for putting on a league, me being one of the running the truck series as well. It's an honor to run the truck series here, and it's an honor. I want to thank y'all as well for doing the broadcast. So y'all do a fantastic job as well. Yeah, y'all, thank y'all for doing everything y'all do.
All right. Well, thank you very much, and we will be looking forward to talking to you next week. Hopefully, when we see you, maybe in the winner's circle again.
Thank you.
All right. Take care. And now we've got the winner of tonight's race, Chad Genningsman. Chad, can you hear us?
Yep, I got yes.
All right. Well, what a run tonight, Chad. It was a moment where you started the race in the middle of the pack, and then you just charged your way straight up to the front. Talk a little bit about the beginning of the race. What was your strategy going into the beginning here?
Yeah, being that I didn't qualify too at the beginning was really just keeping the truck clean. I kind of figured with the way the exits of the corners are, the truck can get pretty snappy or loose. My goal is just kind of keep the truck clean and just really try to get as many positions that I could in the first run without doing anything crazy. So I think I got up to 5th or 6th by the stage, and that put me up in a good position to take 2 tires and get the lead and kind of never look back then.
It really, really did. And I got to say that is an excellent strategy for the beginning of this race. We saw a couple of drivers that would just sort of snap on those turns. If you overdo it just a little bit, and these trucks, they will snap on you. And you had very, very clean lines early on that definitely paid off. What really excited me about your performance tonight, though, was the gap that you had to the cars right behind you was always just about a second. There was no way they were closing that gap. Once you had that gap and you were looking in your window and you saw Jordan Sailors back there, you saw Blad Holloran back there, what was going through your mind?
Yeah, really it was just trying to make sure, like you said, keep a good second gap, or at least 3/4 of a second, just so there's nothing crazy that happens on the last lap. Not that I think Blair, Jordan, I think they're gappers have been a long time and they're very clean racers, but just keep a big enough lead where there really wasn't any risk, and I wouldn't have to take a defending line. I could just run the line I wanted to and just run a predictable line that I knew my truck would handle and not have to do anything crazy and put myself in a bad spot.
Well, it looks like that definitely lined up for you. You came out with a wonderful victory today. Congratulations. Is there anybody you'd like to thank or shout out to?
Yeah, first I want to apologize to Charles Abert. I turned him on one of the restarts, and that was completely on me. I missed time to run off a 2 and got him at the back right at the corner exit and turned him. So apologize to him for ruining the race. Otherwise, just want to thank you guys for broadcasting. Want to thank all the league admins, and then want to thank everybody at Legacy Esports and Reaper who helps me have a fast truck.
All right. Well, it was a fast truck tonight. You came away with the gold medal. Congratulations again. And Chad, I got to ask you, man to man, how do I pronounce your last name?
Genixman.
Genixman. I knew I was saying it right. All right, we got Chad Genixman. Congratulations, Chad, and good luck on your next race. Okay.
Yep. Thanks, guys. See you.
All right. Take care. And Gage, it looks like that's going to do it for us at Iowa tonight. What's your takeaway from tonight's race?
Man, that was a pretty crazy race. Honestly, not as much green flag runs as we would want to call, and I'm sure, as like what Jordan Saylor said, even for the drivers, it wasn't the most fun thing ever, but it was still a pretty good race nonetheless. And you know, Chad, Jordan, and Blair all got the jobs done tonight with their top 3 finishes, and I think that does it from us, from Iowa Motor Speedway.
Yep, I think that's right. We're going to go ahead and kick off the end here from the entire Grid Vision team. We'd like to thank you for watching and participating. For the more information and on getting your league broadcasted or starting your career in broadcasting, give us a contact on Facebook, X, or email us at info@gridvision.live. Congratulations tonight to Chad Genningsman on winning tonight's race from Iowa. This has been Joe LaCastro, joined by Gage Swan and Taylor Burris, and we will see you next time on the grid.